To go on to the next session that we are having, we have now a talk on spend less and get more with ITSM. This is by Mr. Dhivakaran Thamilchelvan, the head of the ITSM business for Freshworks India. Can I please welcome Mr. Dhivakaran?
Good afternoon, everyone. I hope all of you are doing well and having a great time today. My name is Dhivakaran. I head the ITSM business for Freshworks in India. I come with close to 15 years of experience in selling technology and working with IT leaders like yourselves, in their digital transformation initiatives. Been with Freshworks for the last 3 years now. For those of you who are not, familiar with Freshworks, I'll do a quick introduction. Freshworks is a SaaS company that offers solutions specializing in different areas of customer and employee experience. We are a 13-year-old company founded in 2010 in Chennai. Today we have more than 65,000 paying customers across the globe from different industries, 5,000 employees across 13 global locations. We are clocking a little above $500 million in revenue today and growing steady. And we are rated as we are rated high by the likes of Forrester and Gartner in both the customer and experience areas. And more importantly, we are the first Indian SaaS company to be listed in NASDAQ in the US. And if I were to talk about some of our customers, it's very easy for me to do that. All I have to do is ask you to pull out your mobiles and look at some of the apps that you're using on a daily basis, like your Paytm, PhonePe, Flipkart, Myntra, etc. All of these are Freshworks' customers today. That's a very quick introduction. I'd like to go into the topic by talking about the state of IT today, right? So technology has gone through a remarkable transformation in the last 2 decades, due to SaaS and cloud computing, and on top of that, there was this COVID-19 pandemic, which accelerated a lot of digital transformation, and this kind of changed the role IT was playing so far. IT has evolved from being a mere facilitator to a partner in delivering exceptional customer and employee experiences. Right, from this perspective, IT leaders have a couple of challenges, right? One, especially in today's economic climate, they've been asked to do more with less, because of reasons like inflation and the possibilities of an impending recession, right? But on the other side, they're also under pressure to accelerate more of digital transformation, deliver more cost effectiveness, efficiencies, but without compromising on service quality and productivity, right? But all of this with the current systems and tight budgets, and this leads to certain challenges that IT leaders face on a day-to-day basis. So yesterday we were having a round table with 10 to 15 CIOs, and we are talking about the challenges that they are facing. And this is very similar to what we have been observing from our prospects and customers as well. If you were to run things with your current systems and and the tight budgets, one thing is, the productivity of your staff gets, impacted, right? I think yesterday, it was Mr. Sarkar from Ambuja Niyotya Group who pointed out, saying that it is very tough to manage expectations from their own IT agents today. If you don't give them the right tool, they're simply switching jobs, right? It leads to employee turnover. And I think it was Mr. Pankaj from Reliance Retail who pointed it out to us, and then told that he beautifully explained about employee experience, right? So he said when they were starting their careers and when they go from home into the office, they get this enterprise experience. The office gives you a different feeling. He was like, if that was the situation then, imagine how the millennials will feel today. What would they expect from you? So he was like, you cannot really blame them. So we have to, catch up, and we cannot be lagging behind and give them the tools that they want to use, right? And I think it was another CIO, I think Mr. Harshad, right from Aditya Birla, pointed out to us about the cost issues that that come up when you are dealing with legacy systems, current systems, right? Because he pointed out that our processes keep changing, and because of which our workflows keep changing. Every time, if my workflow changes and I have to go to an external developer or a consultant, and I keep spending more and more, I would rather want to configure and maintain the tools that I use all by myself. Now, all of this leads to misalignment with the business objectives, right? This is where IT struggles a lot, right? I think it was Mr. Amit Kapil from Keparo who pointed out to us, saying that when you are able to provide the right tool, you can put your foot down and then say that, hey, IT is not your steward, right? It's a partner. You cannot be putting all the pressure on IT all the time. But unfortunately, a lot of we find that a lot of organizations still use legacy IT tools, and which are not just expensive to buy. It is expensive to own as a whole, right? Anything that you have to do with it, right? If you have to change a workflow, introduce a new configuration, you're spending a lot of money. You're spending money towards upgrades, renewal, and in a lot of cases, there are some vendors who charge you for features, overload of features that you may not even use, right? And this is what we call bloatware. And the way out, to this is moving on to a right-sized, ITSM platform, which will help you lower your TCO and increase your return on investment. Now, I'd like to just spend a minute on what right-sized looks like, right? When I say right-sized, please don't get me wrong. I'm not asking you to compromise on the features or capabilities that you would want. So, a right-sized platform, of course, it should be a powerful platform that gives you all the necessary capabilities like IT service management, IT operations management, asset management, analytics, and more importantly, AI, but at the right price, and a very transparent pricing. You shouldn't be taken by surprise with, upgrades and updates. I mean, every SaaS company, every SaaS software goes through upgrades and updates on a quarterly or even a monthly basis. Imagine every time you have to pay something for that or relearn that, right? So that shouldn't be the case. And it should also allow you to configure things on your own. If you were to depend on an army of people for implementation and you're going to spend a lot of time for implementation, that affects your time to value. And also to maintain the software, you should be able to self-configure and maintain the software all by yourself and not depending on an army of consultants and developers negotiating CRs and SOWs with them all the time. And more importantly, it should allow you to scale as you grow. Maybe you start off with 50 workflows, but then eventually you might end up with 100, 150, 200 workflows. The product should keep up with it, right? And ultimately, it should keep your TCO in control, the total cost of ownership in control. And Freshservice, which is our own ITSM and enterprise service management platform, fits exactly into this bracket. And it is because of reasons like this, our customers and prospects choose us, and they're continuing to work with this. I'll just quickly touch upon how Freshservice can help lower your TCO and increase the return on investment, right? I'm not going to go into the obvious details like what ITSM offers, like ITIL modules. ITIL modules is very obvious. But what I want to highlight about Freshservice is the AI-powered service management capabilities, right? So when I talk about AI-powered service management capabilities, today, the consumer-grade experience is not just for customers anymore, it's for employees also. I think there is Mr. Rahul Sharma from Tata Projects over here. He was pointing out to us yesterday that there's a blue-collar worker who came to him and told that, with his mobile and said that, hey, this is how I get things done at my home, right? And this is how easy I want it to be with your tools as well. I don't want to be filling forms, right? So employees are increasingly expecting, conversational support. The definition of self-service has changed. Earlier it was, knowledge-based and everything, but today they want to interact with a bot. They want to be able to get things done through WhatsApp all by themselves, not raise tickets, send emails, etc. And that's exactly what Freshservice offers. It offers service bots that can be deployed on your internal communication channels like Slack and MS Teams. We use Freshservice at our own company. I don't remember the last time I was sending an email for anything to get done. It's always Slack now. And we also have chat bots that can be deployed on WhatsApp and other different channels like your app and website, etc., where employees can come and raise their queries and solve issues. Now, this also helps your agents, right? Now, when self-service gets to this level, they get to focus only on the complex issues, which means that they're able to resolve complex issues on time and their SLA adherence goes up. really, and then the resolution times become really low. And it is also very easy for admins because all these automations, for automating a lot of workflows, you're not dependent on coding or scripting. It is completely codeless. Through just drag and drop, you'll be able to configure as many workflows as you want. It makes the job of an admin really very easy. And once again, due to this automation, once again, your agents would appreciate that because they get a lot of time. They don't spend a lot of time on routine tasks, right? They get a lot of time to focus on actual complex issues. But this is mostly for IT, right? Whenever we talk about IT service management, we only talk about IT and not the non-IT departments. Yesterday, I think one of the CEOs pointed out rightly that, hey, ITSM shouldn't be called ITSM anymore. It should be called, BSM, Business Service Management. It should be for all the departments, right? But there's a slightly different terminology for that. It is Enterprise Service Management. It is ESM, right? Because if you look at the non-IT teams, they have different software for different departments. Say you want a pay slip or a letter of employment, you write to the HR, there's a specific email ID. You want to raise a travel request, you have a separate software for that. Imagine the number of software an employee has to remember and use. It leads to frustration, right? And it is additional burden for IT also. And I'm pretty sure in most of the cases they run to you if there is anything going wrong with those software as well. This is why, as part of Freshservice, we took the fund to non-IT teams as well by introducing Freshworks for business teams, for your different departments like IT, HR, admin, etc. And this allows you to configure defined workspaces for these non-IT departments as well. When I say defined workspaces, you are decentralizing control, right? HR has their own workspace. They have their own admin. They're able to configure their own workflows and own it. They're not running to IT all the time. But having said that, if you want to keep the central control, that is also possible, right? There's a global setting, there's a global admin capability as well. But it is extremely secure at the same time. One department cannot look into the other department's activities. And what this does for your employees is a unified experience, right? They're not getting that good experience only with IT, but across the organization. And moving on to the IT operations management capabilities of Freshservice, organizations typically use more than one alert monitoring tool, right? I mean, it could be server monitoring or you have your cybersecurity monitoring tools. What Freshservice does is it captures alerts from all of these different monitoring tools, groups the alerts, and applies AI on top of it to identify the critical alert automatically. Instead of, typically what happens is, the agents go through, whenever there's an outage, there's a ton of alerts. By the time they arrive at the root incident, it has already impacted the MTTR. This is what Freshservice takes care of for you. It identifies the critical incident, automatically routes it to the right team as well, and on top of it, it also offers on-call management. It continuously escalates on different channels such as your Slack, MS Teams or SMS, etc., till the time the right team starts attending to it. Overall, it basically cuts the noise for your agents and allows them to focus on the root incident that is causing the outage. And it is because of all of these reasons, predominantly self-configurability and maintenance and low total cost of ownership and a very high user adoption and agent adoption. It is because of these reasons customers like Mahindra, right, and Toshiba and Colgate-Palmolive, these kind of customers are using Freshservice today and have seen a lot of improvements. And not just that, we've also started acquiring customers from highly regulated industries like banks and financial services companies. We acquired one of the top 10 banks as a Freshservice customer recently, and we also acquired one of the top health insurance providers as a customer recently. So I think, in conclusion, I would like to leave you with some thoughts that you can keep in mind when you are choosing an ITSM provider, right, in 2023. So one thing is, if you are dependent on external developers and consultants and spending a bomb to maintain your software, and you find user and agent adoption to be not 100%, then it's probably time for you to move on to a right-sized platform, cut down spending over there. And also, you should aim to delight your employees with AI conversational support and make life easy for both your agents and your employees. They're going to be loving you for that. right? And automate. But then without coding, right? Without depending on coding and scripting, coders, developers, etc. Once again, automation is going to, leave your agents to focus on only the right things. And last but not the least, please ask for a total cost of ownership projection before you purchase an ITSM software. All I'm saying is ask for a TCO table with all the line items like your license, add-ons, upgrades, cloud storage, etc., then so that you're not caught by surprise, later on, right? I hope that was helpful. Thank you so much for your time and patience. If you have any questions, we have a booth outside. You can drop in. We can have a chat. Thank you so much. Have a nice day.